Hello and welcome back to GrowthTech Gaming again. We're gonna pick up where we left off the last episode where I brutally murdered all our dinos. Um, I want to check if we can maybe tame a Spino. Still won't be able to unlock the saddle, um, which is fine in any way, but I'm quickly gonna go and harvest some berries and stuff and get the things that we're gonna need to tame some dinos that will survive a little bit longer. So see you in a few seconds. Alright, so now that we've got the narcotics working in the mortar and pestle and we've got some arrows, I think we should get some tools going and then we will be able to hopefully get back to where we were, almost in any way. So one thing that new players tend to not know and get irritated and frustrated by is the fact that this game is unforgiving. No matter what the difficulty level, no matter what your maximum dino level, you are gonna get killed. Your dinos are gonna get killed, and it's not only in the lower levels where we are now, it actually happens all throughout the game, which means we are going to lose some more dinos. I know it's not always something that you want to hear or necessarily uh, want, and that's also one of the reasons why I'm not naming any of my um, dinos at the moment, is because there's just no way that they're going to survive for long enough. And naming a Bego or a Moschops is useless because they're just going to end up either not being useful or just end up in a vivarium for egg production. Um, and the rest of the utility dinos are definitely not going to survive long enough to be a part of this game. So I know it's a bit dark and foreboding, but I've been playing this game for a while now, and I can tell you now, um, this is definitely a fact. The dinos are not going to survive, and the quicker you get used to it and start to understand that you're not going to have the dinos that you start with in the end game, the better for you, because else it's going to frustrate you. And I've seen a lot of players, a lot of my friends, not playing the game anymore because they get frustrated and irritated by the fact that they keep losing dinos. And yeah, that's a part of Ark. You are going to lose a lot of dinos, and even late game things and stuff that's OP and strong, like wyverns and things. I've lost massive amounts of them, and I mean, like I said, I'm not the best player, but I have been playing this game for quite a while, and um, stuff just happens sometimes that you don't see necessarily, or it's unavoidable, and yeah, it just ends up being a problem. So I'm quickly gonna go get a pteranodon tamed so that we can get a flyer again, which is gonna help us to get to another. Sorry, that turtle that just looked like a Sarco. That scared me a little bit. Anyway, so we're gonna get a pteranodon so that we can get flying again. Want to build a trap somewhere where I can probably get a stego, a spino. Um, Maybe we'll settle for a tickle chicken, the Therazinos. But I'm not quite sure if I want to tame one of those because they do end up needing like a hell of a lot of narcotics because the narcotics just keep draining out of them permanently. So it's definitely something that we might have a problem with. Just figured I want to check if there's crystal still in the base because it would help me a lot if I have a spyglass. So it doesn't seem that I still have crystal though. I do. Nice. So we should be able to craft a spyglass. Yay! Right, so now we can actually go check if we can get a higher level pteranodon. And hopefully it can actually carry my weight and a little bit more. That's level 15. Yeah, this 95 should be sufficient. Now we just wait for it to get off the water and then we can probably tame it. Hopefully. Let's see if we can make it. Why are you this slow at the moment? You should be much faster. Yeah, I know. It hurts so bad. That was a bit of a noise. Not sure what happened there. Bola, I should have actually fixed my arrows, but it's fine. Now, this is epic to have the awesome spyglass because like you can see it shows you how long you've got on the bola left and it also shows you the amount of torpor. Okay. Not sure why that happened, but anyway, it's out. So apparently you can't double bola, you're gonna have to wait for the bola to work off before you throw another bola. That's something that never happened to me, but probably because I don't bola a lot of stuff. So yeah, that was interesting. So I'm probably just gonna tame this guy up and I'll see you guys when it's done taming. Alright, so we tamed the pteranodon. Now it's time to saddle it up and take it home. Now this one's stats are definitely going to be better than the previous one we had. Um, we will go over stats and breeding and taming and all of those things on a later stage, but yeah, it's got a right uh, weight stat, not based. It's definitely not going to be like um, here for long, probably, due to the fact that it definitely doesn't stay in the air too long, and you have to like go land and get stamina, and that's something that ends up being a very, very bad idea, is landing. Um, Stuff usually ends up killing you very quickly when you land. So I am going to take this pteranodon to Herbivore Island and end up taming us a Anky, which is going to help us in production for the trank darts, so that we can use the long neck rifle that we created a bit earlier. I'm just going to take some Maja berries. Well, I should have actually gotten some cryopods before this move, um, so that we can get the moss chops there as well, but it's fine, we'll just harvest it ourselves. We are actually busy on a event as well, the 5-year anniversary event of uh, Ark, which means that we actually do have a boosted harvest setting. Um, just quickly gonna gamma up because it's getting dark, and then I'll be back now. Alright, so I'm back. We gammaed it a little bit up. We'll see how it looks in post processing and just evaluate what's going on and change it. So I am going to bring you guys back once we are at Herbivore Island, and we'll see you guys later. Alright, so we're at Herbivore Island. We're gonna see what's in this drop. Another nice mechanical, awesome spyglass. We could use that definitely, because we are still in a bit of the early game. Now, this place is very calm and oh, that's bright. Bloody hell. Anyway, this place is very calm and safe because, um, like the name suggests, there's only herbivores on this island, which means that there's no bad stuff that's gonna end up eating us. Unless you go into the water, which of course has stingrays, megalodons. I think there's elite ichthyes close by, supposed to be on this side of the island somewhere, although it doesn't really attack unless you have a raft, which we will also cover in a later stage and see what's going on there. Now, this is probably the best place to tame an Anky, because it's quite safe, unless you aggro a trike or something like that. Now, shooting one of the Ankies will probably get everything aggroed onto us, so if we can't find a decent level Anky alone somewhere, we're probably going to end up just kiting one away and knocking that out. Although, yeah, we should still be fine. Now, this is a level 90. It's definitely going to be fine using that one. So I think without any further ado, let's try and knock it out and see if we can tame it up. Now, interesting concept would be passive. We need to put this guy on passive, else he's gonna eat the Anky. Okay, apparently my aim is a bit off. So we're gonna try and knock this guy out. It should be relatively easy. We're gonna end up taming it on Herbivore Island and then leaving it here for a bit. Just putting down a FOB with a forge, forging up some metal and leaving it here for a while until we can get cryopods done. Reason being is the pteranodon won't be able to carry it, and I won't be able to swim it all the way across because it's going to get eaten by the sharks and stuff like that. So not gonna do that. Hopefully it doesn't go into the water. Sometimes it does, and that's quite irritating. I'm gonna try and you see there's the leads ichthyes though. Now we're gonna have to wait for it to, yeah, there we go, out of the water and passed out. There we go. So that's the leads ichthyes. It spawns at level 1 always. It's just because it does like amazing amount of damage to a raft and stuff. That's why they spawn it at level 1. So yeah, this is gonna be taming a Anky. The reason why I fed the pteranodon a lot of narco berries, even if it didn't need it, is because it actually creates like a hunger effect on the dino, so it loses food faster. Now, given it's not at a rate of stumberries, um, it's definitely going to help improve the, well, not improve the tame, but just do it at a quicker rate than normal. So that's why I keep feeding the dinos narco berries. Once we get to a point where we actually gonna use like other stuff, um, like narcotics, I would feed it some stumberries, although this guy actually tames with stumberries. A few of the uh, herbivores does that, and it doesn't tame at a very good rate, which means you are losing taming effectiveness due to the stumberries being eaten. So that's a counterproductive situation. Now, the spyglass also tells you how many berries or stuff you're going to need to tame it up. Like you can see, regular kibble is the best. Basic veggies are something like primitive plus or something. Also, I think the normal vegetables like rock carrots and savo roots will also be on that. And then the major berries are the next. So we are definitely going to use the major berries to tame this guy up. And I think I'm going to just drop it in and probably come back once it's done. Like I said, we are on an anniversary event. That's why the taming isn't taking that long. So um, our 10 times rates are actually now 15 times because it's a 5 times event. Now this is not a color event, which means that we won't have dinos with different colors or uh, flashy colors or anything like that, but we'll definitely breed colors into the lines that we actually want on a later stage, just to also cover that as a tutorial. We'll see. I'll do a basic video of it, and if you guys need more information, then I'll probably start a new playlist with a lot more information on breeding colors and also the other stuff as well. Uh, so we're just gonna keep feeding this guy and come back once it's tamed. Right, so I am quickly gonna go make a saddle, make some foundations and whatnot to get a fob going here and smelt some metal. And I'll bring you guys back once I return with the stuff and this thing's tamed. Alright, so like you guys can see, it's been tamed up. Now we throw the saddle on it, and then we can just basically go around either getting some thatch and wood, which we're definitely going to need. I'm going to bring you with me. Now, if you level up the melee damage on these guys, they will harvest better resource amounts. Um, we'll definitely be able to get a lot of resources with this guy. Now, I am going to throw out everything except metal, and probably just leave the berries there for food. Just because we don't have a lot of space at the moment. I want to end up having a lot more metal at the moment, until we can get a cryopod situated. Now, this pteranodon is definitely one of the more irritating things that's going on right about now. Although, um, yeah, it's better than having it not follow us and we have to run up and down trying to get it. So we're just gonna have to stick with it, and we are definitely gonna just put the base not here because there's metal spawn points. Putting something down close to a metal spawn, or actually any resource spawn, will stop it from respawning. Now, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that actually ends up not doing that because Ark. Um, but yeah, it's a thing, and I definitely don't want to lose my metal spawn points. Uh, so I'm just going to end up building on the beach because the only thing that will not spawn there is berries and bushes and stuff like that, which is not a problem now. Like you can see, we got like a lot and a lot of metal. I'm just gonna keep some of the wood to burn it all in the forge. I'm gonna bring this guy back. Take you as well. Park you next here. And now we just wait for the Anky. It's definitely gonna take a while for it to arrive. That's if it doesn't get stuck on a tree. And then we should be able to transfer the stuff. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it's in there. Let's light the fire and that will keep going. Now, yeah, this is irritating, but I do not have the levels or the weapons to take care of these two stegos. So I'm gonna just have to go with the flow and let them walk where they want to walk. I'm just going to end up harvesting some bushes with this guy so that he can have berries until we can get a cryopod going. Don't want it to die of hunger because I didn't feed it enough. So, of course, this is also a very good berry harvester and stuff like that. Just gonna have it follow me again because me on its back is also adding to the weight at the end of the day. So we'll definitely be getting some good amounts of metal from this. I might end up just leaving it here, letting it go, while I try and get some cryopods. We're gonna have to build a raft as well to get all the metal from Overville Island onto the mainland where our base is. Now the Leeds Ichthyes is definitely not gonna be on board with that plan, and we're gonna have to work around getting our stuff safely back to base. But for now, that can definitely go smelt up there. We don't need to take it back all at once. We can just take it back as we need it. And if we end up getting a cryopod beforehand, we can always just leave it there and not worry about it. And just use the Anky at base to get a lot of metal. The river rocks will automatically give you a bit of metal. Definitely with the Anky, it's going to be a lot more than what we did with a pick, and we should be able to get rid of the pick and the axe shortly, and only use the Anky and hopefully a dirt digger soon enough. I just want to get to a point where we can start using trank darts and not the crossbow with arrows, as they not only do a lot more damage to the tames, they actually take longer to knock it out as well. So having the darts will make it safer to tame stuff like Therazinos, the tickled chickens, um, and stuff like that. So that's definitely something we want to look at. Um, at least we got back on our feet relatively quickly. Um, I know we don't have a defensive dino yet, which we had in the raptor, but you saw at the end of the day the raptors are not the best of defensive dinos, unless you have like a massive pack and the high levels. If you have high levels, yes, they are brilliant. If you don't have high levels, it's less brilliant and more cumbersome. I'm just probably gonna keep crafting some narcotics as I get rotten or spoiled meat, and then just basically go from there. Alright, so with that said, we're probably going to end this episode off right here, as it is a bit longer than the rest already. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.